Hi, we're on a LoginEKO field at our northern location. We're following the chickpea harvest, the variety Pascia. This is 69 hectares, our largest chickpea field this year. This was also our first sowing this season, done on April 9th, and I'm glad we can show you this very field, because we followed almost all chickpea-related operations here. From seedbed preparation and sowing, through various mechanical weed control with the Rotary Star, the first and second inter-row cultivations, and a later treatment against cotton bollworm, we have finally reached harvest, ready to see the results of this season. What did we do to achieve this grain quality? You can see that in our video series on chickpeas production technology. And how do we determine the optimal harvest date? Well, basically, we always take a look first. Of course, not just us, I assume you do too. The chickpeas have taken on this golden yellow color and they rattle. You can hear it as well. Beyond that first visual check, you can hear the seeds rattling inside the pod. You can open a pod, bite into a seed, and feel that it's hard. These are the initial indicators we rely on. Of course, a few days before harvest, we take a sample, take it back to the farmstead, run it through our Haldra plot thresher, and then check the moisture with a moisture meter. A hand sample is never exactly the same as a combine sample once the crop has gone through the combine. So we always add about 1% to that reading just to get a rough idea of when we can start. Regarding this field, here on the first day of harvest, the moisture is around 11%. As I said, safe moisture for storage is 13%. However, a few days ago, when we sampled, it was around 14%, then it dropped to 13.5%. We waited a bit because the stems were still a little tough, so this is now the ideal moment for harvest. We won't wait much longer for it to dry further because then the pods can start splitting and the seeds can shatter and drop, causing losses. So we believe this is the ideal time to work. The combines harvesting this chickpeas field are our two Lexions, a 6800 with straw walkers and a Lexion 760 rotary combine. What's very important to mention, as I noted a moment ago, is that we are keeping these chickpeas for farm-safe seed. That's exactly why drum speed is crucial. We reduce it so the seed doesn't get damaged. On the other hand, we aim to work as cleanly as possible, so we set a higher fan speed since chickpeas are heavy and other impurities can be blown out easily. And that also lets us increase driving speed since there isn't that much crop mass, the combines can go faster. Right now they can run up to 12 kilometers per hour, so we expect high harvesting efficiency. Here we are with our well-known colleague Robert, in the equally well-known Lexion 6800. Robert, can you tell us a bit about the settings on this combine for chickpeas harvest?
Hi, sure. With chickpeas, we don't have a crop setting specifically for chickpeas, so we select broad bean because it's the best match in terms of settings.
Yes, the grain size and the 1,000 kernel weight are similar, right?
Exactly. So with chickpeas, we're aiming for clean grain and as little breakage as possible, so we set the drum to run at low RPMs. On this combine, for example, the drum is at 350 revolutions per minute, the concave is at 18 millimeters, the fan is at 1400, the top sieve is 14 millimeters, and the bottom sieve is 9 millimeters. This is a large, heavy seed, so we can increase the fan speed to blow out lighter material and keep the grain cleaner.
And for the drum, I assume we want to damage the chickpeas as little as possible, since we're keeping them as farm-saved seed.
Yes, exactly. That's why we reduce the drum speed as much as we can. This combine can run at very low RPM, which is why we set it to 350.
And what speed can we drive at? I can see it's running nicely.
Since there isn't much crop mass in chickpeas, we can drive between 10 and 12 kilometers per hour.
So we'll have a big output today. We also achieved that speed by removing the sieves from the seed Terminator. Until now, we kept them in during the harvest of every crop, except flax when we removed them. That gave us a bit more speed. We removed them because the chickpeas are clean and we don't see additional practical value from the sieves. The seed Terminator still has its role, even with the sieves removed, although it's probably not as effective as when the sieves are installed. So, we haven't measured exactly how much better it is or isn't, but it certainly still plays a role in grinding up those weeds. On the other hand, it's important for us to gain some speed and efficiency.
Pretovare na žetvi vršimo direktno iz kombajna u transportne prikolice.
During harvest, we unload directly from the combine into transport trailers. And in chickpea harvest, just like in pea harvest, we don't use a grain cart, so we avoid extra handling and the auger conveyor transfer that these trailers use.
Razlog je pošto i seme leblebije ostavljamo za sopstvene potrebe.
The reason is that we also keep chickpeas as farm-saved seed, so we want to minimize damage during unloading.
Što se tiče žetvenih ostataka, oni ostaju na parceli.
As for crop residues, they stay in the field. Like with all our crops, we don't remove residues.
Nego prilikom žetve, sečke kombajna su upaljene.
During harvest, the combine choppers are switched on and the straw is chopped into small pieces.
I kasnije, pošto je to
Later, since it's valuable organic matter, it's incorporated back into the soil with the next tillage operation. In one of our previous videos, I mentioned that chickpea is the new soy in our region.
zašto to kažem? Eto, leguminoza.
Why do I say that? It's a legume just like soy, and we can say we're producing chickpeas successfully.
Pored suše koja je prisutna i ove godine,
Even with the drought we've had again this year, proof of that are these cracks in our fields.
pogledajte moja cijela ruka.
Look, my whole hand can go inside.
To je još jedan od razloga zašto smo spasili.
That's another reason we remove soy from our cropping plan and are increasing our chickpea area. As far as I'm concerned, a few more hectares and the summer harvest is done, and we'll see each other at the sunflower harvest. Bye.